Here on our 2007 B7 A4 Quattro, or front-wheel drive, our 4-cylinder FSI engine here from Audi or VW. Ignore all this. This is taken apart. We're going to do more videos, putting it back together, the thermostat and the housing. I ordered parts from ECS Tuning, and they haven't even put my order together in over a week. So O'Reilly's Auto Parts said they could have it the next day, the next morning, and that was halfway through the day. So I think I'm going to start doing more local business. I mean, it's unacceptable. I'm sick of it. Can't be clogging up my valuable garage space waiting on parts. But this video is just about inspecting the timing belt. This is a timing belt engine. Yes, it does have a chain back here, and this stuff, it's probably overdue replacing it. It's not permanent. This cam chain adjuster, we'll talk about that some other time. And theoretically, it would be nice to do a valve cover gasket, and there's all kinds of other things that would be fun to do if we had the time and budget. This right here is just, I'm already going way overboard because the customer was only concerned with an oil change primarily. So is a good guy though. So this one's really easy to see. There's tons of room here. I could use a lot of different tools, but I got a little slimline mini T30 ratchet here, and really there's just 2 bolts here. You can pull this cover off and you can at least do a visual inspection on the timing belt. Pretty easy, just about as easy as you can get. Try not to lose the bolt. And then we just have this cover that pulls back like that. You could theoretically just look at it like this, or if you wanted to, you could pull it loose, but it is a little bit tricky to pull loose. I've got this hose loose already, so I will try to go ahead and just shimmy this whole thing out. Looks like this air intake snout will have to come out, but if you're Naptown tuner, you can work around it. So we'll grab our flashlight here. We'll do a nice visual inspection on this timing belt. We can look at the teeth down here. Primarily we're looking at the back side of the belt, and if it's a wasted belt, if it's a belt that's gone, you can usually see evidence of the individual cogs or some type of cracking, or it'll just look worn in between the teeth. And although, so that's a Daco belt, and in my opinion it's put on backwards. I like to always be able to read it. I think that's how they put it on the factory, but it looks like the belt has been changed at some time. So yeah, it looks like it's been replaced, even though that's probably, someone tell me if that's, I can't even remember off the top of my head if that's the belt that comes on it from the factory. I don't think so. I think it says Audi from the factory, but it's been a long time since I've done a timing belt on one of these engines. This one, valve cover right there, valve cover gasket. It's still got a valve cover on this one, but then below that it's got a cam tray, so you got to deal with both. Makes it that just more frustrating. The cam tray is bad enough. So if you're doing a timing belt, you want to do this tensioner, this idler, and you want to do the water pump, and you'd probably want to do the belt tensioner and the belt idler for the accessories and a new belt. This particular belt right here, it looks like it had been replaced at some time as well, but the back side is worn halfway through. You can see the this how flexible it is on this side compared to this side. The rubber wore through the back side. I don't know why. You know, if I had my way, like I say, I probably would replace these pulleys as well, but they're operating perfectly fine, so we're just going to toss another belt on it and see how it does. That's something that you can always get away with. After the car's been 100,000 miles or so, you would never feel bad about replacing your accessory belt, your tensioner, and your idler. These things do last a really long time. I would think the timing belt, definitely for her, bar none, the timing belt's more important, because if it comes out at time, this is an interference engine, it'll bend valves. You know, if you think about it, this stuff back here is important too, but that's a different video. We'll just get one of those cars where it's already all broken eventually, one of these days. I don't like this platform anyway, though. I like the platform I work on the most. A lot of times, if this is a worn belt, you'll see little mini cracks in here, and I don't see any cracks. The inside of this belt looks great. You know, they do sell a little measuring device, but I've never messed with it. I can usually just tell, or you usually just throw a new one on, because it's usually like $10 to $15 for a belt. When you're dealing with an old V8 like this, it's probably going to be pretty similar to a 2.7, or a lot of this stuff that's, you know, the belt drive is the older stuff, then it went to timing chain, and whenever it went to timing chain, the chains are in the back of the engine, so you got to separate the engine from the transmission, and a lot of times you got to take them down as a pair. So got another one here. Pull these covers off, and then this is the cover right here for the timing belt. So we've got a little trigger right down in here. You'll grab a hook. Yep, I'll have to grab a hook. Those are on there pretty tight. This one was pretty handy. It was right inside the door. Let's go ahead and just, oh yeah, that worked marvelously. I suspect there's another one all the way around down here. Nope, there's not. So we're just gonna pop that off, and then we're gonna have ourselves a little sneak peek, a little peekaboo. And this belt is looking pretty good as well. So I do not have a bad belt to show you yet, but we'll get there. Of course, I could pop the other side off and show you the other side, but that would mean I'd have to take out these two Phillips screws and then take off this cover. So that's too much work. We're gonna pop this cover back on because I'm satisfied with what I see. So we're gonna start. There we go. Oh yeah. We're gonna try pick. Oh yeah. I'm missing a screw right here. The previous owner got creative with this little push pin. I'm sure if I looked through my things, I could find. Now let's take a second to show you what's going on with this valve cover. You simply got to line it up with the holes. There's no tabs or anything on the back side, and then you give it a little quarter turn. The same thing with these. You see these little tabs right here? You just got to gently lay it on top, try to get it lined up, and then just give these little things a push and a quarter turn. There we go.